Hi, welcome to my automotive show EKG Canadian Enthusiast. Today is the latest episode on the show. Before starting the show, I want to hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Today, so now let's get started. Now today on the show we're going to talk about many new launches from Subaru to Mercedes-Benz to everyone. So now let's get started, people. Let's get started. Now let's start with the concept vehicles first. I want to get off the concept vehicles off the back first. Renault, during the Munich Auto Show, showcased the Renault 5. The Renault 5 is coming back as a full electric EV subcompact car, which would technically replace the Renault Zoe, which is not a bad thing. I seen the styling of the Renault 5, and I must admit it looks really good. The production time would be 2023 or 2024. That's still 3 years away, but I think the wait would be absolutely worth it if you think about it. So moving on from that to another concept. This time it's the Hyundai Prophecy concept, which is the upcoming Hyundai Icona 6, which is a Tesla Model 3 competitor. Now it looks so gorgeous, so stylish, so luxurious from the outside. Performance-wise, expect to see the same 577 horsepower twin electric motor drivetrain as the Kia EV6 GT. Expect the same drivetrain as in that. Now I've seen the styling on the vehicle and I must admit it looks absolutely gorgeous. I can't imagine Hyundai and Kia where they used to be like 15 years ago. They were making the dull Sonata. Now they are better than Mercedes-Benz in some regards. Of course, the Icona 6 will come in production very soon. In fact, it will technically replace the Hyundai Sonata. In my book, really, I would say that in my rather book. So moving on from the Prophecy, let's get down to the GSE. Now GSE have showcased all new GS8, all new engines and all new styling and all new interior specs. 5-door SUV, 7-seater, 4-wheel drive, 8-speed automatics, trim levels are not announced, powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with 252 horsepower, which is not so bad indeed. Prices will start from $32,000. I've seen the interior again, the exterior. I will tell you something. It's one of the best GSE products I've seen in a while. It's absolutely brilliant. And also, they use major Toyota components. So obviously, you can't go wrong with that. Obviously, on that note. To another Chinese mid-size SUV, the Haval H9. The Haval H9 gets an important facelift, slightly tweaked interior, a slightly tweaked exterior, and of course the same engine, a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 241 horsepower, and of course connected to 8-speed automatic gearbox. 5 SUV, 7 seats. Trim levels are vary for prospective markets. Now prices will start from $30,000, which is not a lot in my book. It's actually a bargain for what you get for your money and what you're getting. Moving on from that, let's get to another concept, this time to concept vehicle. This is important. This is a groundbreaking moment. The VW ID Life. The VW ID Life is what they want to call an electric version of a VW Polo, which is important. You got electric equivalent, the ID3, which is equal to the Golf. Now you're having the ID Life concept, which most likely called the ID2 in my book. Now, you might say, well, how does it matter? They claim this EV will cost 17,000 pounds or less, which is 70,000 or higher. It's impossible because the production circle for this is around 2023, 2024. So by then, there's no way they can sell this subcompact EV for $17,000 as a starting price. A Polo starts at $18,000 at this point. But they are trying to get the price down. Because at the moment, electric vehicles are not accessible for the middle class society. It's only for the rich who care about not 60 times, like people like Elon Musk. That's the reality. Now moving on from that concept, let's talk about Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz EQE is a full electric equivalent to the E-Class Mercedes. Now the production will be starting from next year onwards, but some specifications. 4-door saloon, all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, 1-speed fixed transmission. The first model is an EQE 350 powered by a single electric motor with 292 horsepower. Now I seen the interior and the exterior. It looks like a smaller EQS, which is a very good thing. Even the interior is shared with the EQS, which means if you buy EQE, you won't feel quite inferior for not buying an EQS, which is a very, very good thing. Considering the same case with the current E-Class and the S-Class thing, you don't feel inferior. That's a very good thing. Prices are expected to start from $60,000. Moving on, Mercedes also showcased a new range topper for their S-Class electric equivalent, the EQS, which is the range topping Mercedes-AMG EQS 53 AMG, which means don't complain, Tesla. Tesla fanboys, don't you dare start saying we are champions because it's an AMG 53 model. That means more powerful models are coming. Get ready, Tesla. Get ready, Elon Musk. Get ready. Now it's powered by twin electric motors making 751 horsepower and 155 top speed. But that's with the diamond package. Without the diamond package, it makes 649 horsepower and 130 miles per hour electronically limited. So I recommend to buy this thing with the diamond, with the performance package, in my guess. Go for the best. If you're buying an S-Class in electric form, you don't care about performance. The only thing you care, if you're a prime minister or a president of a country, is to be chauffeur driven in the best luxury car in the world. And that's the S-Class. And this is the EQS, so it's electric equivalent. So obviously, prices will more start from, now prices I think will start around $150,000 or more. So yes, moving on from that, let's talk about another concept. It's the EQG. The EQG concept is what a future full electric G-Wagon is going to look like. Now in my book, they have nailed it. It looks like a G-Wagon. In fact, it's built on the body-on-frame architecture, which means it will be supremely capable off-road, which is absolutely brilliant from Mercedes. I must admit, it's fantastic. Now the one in the concept had quad electric motors, so don't expect that in the EQG though. That's just not really going to happen on that situation. So overall, if that's what I'm expecting, what all of us expecting, I can't wait to see what the future holds. Moving on from that, Mercedes-Benz also showcased the Mercedes-Maybach EQS SUV, which is a equivalent to the modern day Mercedes-Maybach GLS, but in EV form. Now this concept, to be honest, I think looks good. Some people didn't like it, some people said it looks like a fishbowl, but it doesn't look like a fishbowl. It looks perfectly fine. It's a Maybach, it's an ultra luxury product. And this is the future. Whether you like or not, we have to accept that the future is going to be aerodynamic design. Mercedes-Benz is taking a futuristic approach, which I like. Now the Maybach's interior, which was all showcased, proved how luxurious and how opulent it's going to be despite being an electric vehicle. It's a Maybach Mercedes. And also, I'm expecting to be really, really good indeed. Now, moving on from that, for the last two vehicles on this show, I'm going to give you the last one, the big surprise later. The Chevy just revealed the facelifted Chevy Silverado. The new Silverado is crackingly brilliant. Now, the old Silverado was a bit of a dog, I must admit. The interior felt very 2000s, General Motors, cheap plastics. If you buy the high country, it felt more like low country. But the new Silverado is fantastic. I seen the pictures, the new interior. I must admit, it's not good as a Ram 1500 or a Ford F-150, but at last the Silverado can compete with them in the same league. If you can't beat your competitor, try to be in the same league. That's what Chevy has done. Now we should hope that the GMC Sierra facelift is going to do even better. Now specs: 5-door pickup, 5 seats, 4-wheel drive, 10-speed automatic or 8-speed automatic, trim levels LT with Z71 package, Trail Boss RST with Z71 package, LTZ C71 is optional, ZR2 is the new trim level that's, they say, equivalent for the Raptor and the TRX. Think this way, it's a TRX or a Raptor, but it doesn't have the performance. That's what it is. But I won't mind that. At least Chevy is now trying, so that's very good. And the good old iCountry. Engines are the same. The 2.7 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine now has 420 feet of torque. That's more than a 5.7 liter Hemi. That's more than a 5 liter Ford Mustang, more than F-155 liter V8. That's a lot. And you still can have the diesel engine, the inline 6 turbo diesel, the 5.3 and the 6.2 V8. Prices will start, of course, from $40,000 to all the way to $60,000 to $70,000, which is a very good value for money. It's cheaper than the Ram and Ford, of course, but I won't mind that. So for the last one, this is the moment, boys. This is the moment. All the Subi fans, all the WRX fanboys, get ready. The new WRX is here. Now many didn't like it, some didn't like it. They said it looked like a lift up crosstrack. It's not. When did a Subaru WRX look like a work of art? It never did. It always looked like a mess. Specifications: four-door saloon, all-wheel drive, 6-speed manual, and a Subaru Performance CVT. Don't buy the CVT. Ignore the CVT. Please ignore the CVT, for God's sake. Ignore this goddamn CVT. Trim levels: base, premium, limited, GT. Now the GT can be had with adaptive suspension as well. So the question: the engine is a 2.4 liter boxer engine with 274 horsepower, and it's turbocharged. Now yes, it's only 3 more horses than the previous WRX, but the previous engine was a little bit of a dog in terms of the gender fact. It was a good enthusiast high performance engine, but in terms of everyday practicality, that engine was terrible. That's the reality. Those old Subi engines are fantastic, but when you everyday usability, they are pretty poor and very unreliable. This engine is bulletproof and reliable. And of course, 2700 and 271 ponies is more than adequate for me in my book. Now, of course, let's get three things clear. It's going to drive like a proper WRX will. It's going to have incredible performance. And now it's a mid-size car since it's based on the Subaru Leveroy, which means it is way better than a Golf GTI or a Golf R. That means they have achieved the ultimate goals. Prices will start from $30,000 to all the way to $36,000 for the GT. The GT can be only available with the CVT. So go for the lesser trims. I recommend go for the manual gearbox and go for the lesser trims. That's my recommendation. Or that's my case, indeed. And also a future STI model is also coming up to 400 horsepower in my book. 370 to 400 horsepower. So on this note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you very much for joining me on this show.